here I am today. The Good Builder is back, and I'm back with Craig Stuart, who they call the Godfather. And actually, before we came to this home, me and Elisa were cruising up this road, and we actually couldn't find the home. And I think the reason was, and I just mentioned it to this legend right here, was the site is so clean, mate.
Thank you.
It is insane. It just looked like a house that blended in the street, but there is so much going on in here. And Craig just took me for a quick walk, and the amount of stuff you are doing is phenomenal, mate.
Mate, well, first of all, thanks for coming along. It's a pleasure to have you here.
No worries.
This project is a house removal job that our clients bought out of Brisbane, and the house removal company brought it here, put it on the post, and then we took over from there.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't met Craig through some of our stuff that we've done with him, he shares everything with the community, and there's a saying that we like to say here at the Good Builder, and we've taken it on board too. Anytime we do anything, is it Craig good? And you will see what I'm talking about, because this project is next level. There's a few challenges in this one, isn't there, Craig?
Most definitely is, mate. But
Yeah.
let's go on up and have a look.
Let's go, mate. Here we are. So what's this, Craig? This is the back of the house.
So this is the back of the house. So where we're standing now is a complete new extension.
Yeah, wow.
This didn't exist on the back of the house. So the client wanted to have two types of decks. So we've got a tiled section over here.
Yep.
And we've got a timber deck here.
Yeah.
So this has actually been quite challenging from a few different aspects, is that you've got to keep moisture barriers different.
Yep.
I'm a little bit old school, so the timber deck is full hardwood. So not only is it a hardwood as in a Merbau decking, but all the bearers and joists.
Yeah.
So the way we had to set the posts out, design the bearers, so potentially you've got two independent decks that are put together.
Wow.
So you've got to form moisture barriers.
Yep.
Making sure that we don't get moisture from this area into that area.
Yeah.
The way the cladding's all been done, it drops down, with the decking, the damp course has to come through. So the tiled deck is all LVL. So it's all engineered timbers.
Yeah.
So it's got to be fully encapsulated in the way it's sealed. Even just the fascia of the deck on the tiled section, the client didn't realise that we were going to have to tile that.
Yeah.
She'd envisaged the timber deck fascia running through, but I need to protect all my LVLs.
Yep.
So even though it's encapsulated as far as skyline across the top and down the sides, we've also painted all the LVL so we get no ground moisture at any stage coming up into the bottom, and it's all H3 treated.
Yeah.
But still making sure that we're getting everything there right.
Yeah.
Once you go tiled, you've got a solid deck, so now you need fall. So the deck has to be set up with fall that runs across, which then means it has to be the same here. And then we've got a different height in the substrates because the tiles and the top of this deck has to finish the same. So this deck now runs with fall in it, which you wouldn't normally do on a timber deck.
Yeah.
Which then means the landing runs slightly.
Yep.
But it also means that our handrails run through level, but as they return, say, back up here in the stainless steel wire, they're going to look a little bit different on the deck because the deck runs out, the wires will run level.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you're outside sighting across these wires to these
Those
wires,
ones,
they all line up.
Yeah. So what's the vintage of this house, actually? I forgot to ask.
It's about a 1950s.
A 1950s.
So it was originally had chamfer board, the 100mm, 90mm wide chamfer board on the outside.
Yeah.
It's all hardwood frame.
Yeah.
It's quite well built.
Yep.
And it's really sound and got good structure to it.
Yeah.
So that's probably been our advantage.
Yeah.
A little bit of movement and those sort of things, but primarily it's a good solid home.
Yeah, yeah. And what I've really loved is how you've kept it to that vintage as well. Most of the stuff you've tried to do. So
yeah,
we might take a look at this. So you talked about this before when we first took the tour. So what happened with all the board and what did you sort of propose here? Because this was cool.
Okay. So what we come across was that as the job was progressing and the extended work that we've done inside.
Yeah.
So I suppose if we just jump back for a second, a normal house removal house where they might, let's say it's an old Queenslander, they bring it to site, they join it back together and primarily keep the house as original as it first was.
Yep.
Doesn't have the same extent of requirements needed as what this house has. Because we've got an extension on the front, extension on the back.
Yeah.
We're primarily, every room in the house bar the existing bathroom and toilet is getting redone.
Yeah.
So the percentage of work means that we now have to meet certain NCC codes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The client would like to insulate the whole external of the house inside the walls, which is fairly standard practice.
Yeah.
But because the original chamfer board never had any type of barrier behind it, I wasn't prepared to do that.
Yeah.
If I got moisture through the boards, it would get into the insulation.
Yep.
Then it would hold moisture, then it form condensation, mold, mildew, which would then make me accountable for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we suggested was we'd take it all off.
Yeah.
We'd paper the house.
Yep.
And what we've compromised a little bit. So this is my, just standard building wrap.
Yep.
but we've put all the ProClimber tape.
Yeah.
So we've taped everything together, and on the existing parts of the house on the outside, because the original chamfer board is 20 mil, and we're using a WeatherTex product, it's only like 10 mil. So we've got a variance to make all the boards line back up in the rebates of the windowsills.
Yes.
So what we've done is we've put 11 mil counterbattens on the outside, forming an air cavity and a heat stack area for us. And we just suggested to the client that we would reclad, because the existing cladding had lead-based paint. All the cladding would have to be stripped off, sanded, cleaned up, and then have to reinstate it all, which was going to cost more. So we've gone to the WeatherTex product, which is just one of my favourite products. I love this product.
It's going to look stunning.
I think it's great. So we've used this this profile because it looks very similar to the chamfer board. It's slightly narrower, but it still gives us that sort of a look. Once it's all painted up, it's going to give that same sort of period look of the house. But the beauty I like with this is that it's 97% hardwood pulp, which is coming from plantation hardwood. 3% paraffin wax. Comes pre-primed, has a bow rating, and you're still using a timber product. So if we were using other products that would have a silica base in them, we can have to use dust extraction, mass, which we're happy to do, but I give the clients the option. This has a great carbon footprint. And this is one of my favourite products, and there's so many different profiles in it. So we use lots of it. Another interesting thing is that you'll see that we've got like a lot of paint on our ends, and that's because all our cut joins are all painted. And you'll see that on those stops we've also got a little gap on each end, like a 2 mil gap. And that's part of your installation requirement for expansion. So when the painters will come through, sand this, then they will put their fresh coat of primer on over the top of this, gap it all up, seal it all up, and then finish their coats. So all our boards will have those gaps on the ends to allow for expansion and contraction.
Wow. Well, there you go, builders. There's a few tips in this one from Craig. So this was really cool. I wanted to talk about this because I think that product's going to look great and match the house so well.
And everything's primed. And another interesting one is that the actual timber here that we're using on the stops is what they call design pine. So it comes pre-primed. This is a bit of a trap for a lot of people, is pre-primed doesn't mean it's pre-primed for the job site. It's transport priming. So it should be sanded, not sanded off, but sanded and primed again.
So for young players.
So like a lot of your pre-primed balustrades and handrails and ladies' waists and all those things are all for stability from when it's made to when it gets to site. So all ours gets a light sand, and it'll always get at least 2 coats. And then the painter will come in and do his thing. This is for us to stabilise it on the job, make sure it's sealed properly. All the ends will be painted. So there's no end grain that's not painted. Everything's sealed up properly. It takes time, but it's doing the job right.
Is it Craig good?
Definitely.
I know it is. I think right here, this was interesting here too, because our wonderful content creator, Eliza, with her lovely partner, is a carpenter. He was talking about windows. We've got a few tips from you. So tell us about, I can just see out of this window, by the way. How are you doing these windows? How are you sealing these up?
Okay, so what we've done is we've taken the original casement windows out. And I suppose just quickly, this window frame here was in the ensuite. And we've brought it to here.
There's been a lot
because we needed to make the ensuite smaller. Because of the toilet, and you don't want a window very low. So we've taken the long sill, refabricated it, and brought it into here. But because we've taken the casement windows out, and we're putting aluminium windows in, we've got to be able to retrofit them so they're sealed. So what we do is we do this angle that comes into here. So in this particular case, because it's basically a new window, but we've used the old sill, we've gone and put our jambs in. And you'll see once again that it's pine and it's all been painted. It's all painted and sealed around the outside. So we put our jambs in. Now, in this case, we're pretty lucky because we put them in level and plumb. There'll be a couple others that aren't, so we've just had to put packers in. But we fit the angle. We do the head first that goes in, and it's sickered behind. And it's got screws that screw up into place. Then we do down each side. We don't need to do the bottom on this one because we've got a rebate in the old style sill. So that window is then measured between the screw heads. And we just take a couple of mil off, so we've got plenty of room for clearance. So when the window comes, it will, from the outside, it will pull in. There'll be a sticker bead that will run around here, and it will pull the window against it. And then we will rivet it into place.
Yeah, wow.
Now in this particular one, there'll be another reveal we put on, which will be 18 mil, basically cover that up.
Yep.
And it will then come out 10 mil to allow for the plasterboard for the architrave to go on.
Yeah, wow.
We do a reverse angle on the outside, exactly the same way. Once the window's fitted, it will get pushed against the window and then slid across until it touches the outside reveal.
Yep.
A little bit of jam on the outside. Same deal, we'll do the head first and then do the sides. We don't do the bottom on the outside because the rubber is on there and we need the water to get out.
Yeah.
We don't want to build a dam.
Yeah.
So this inside line here is our waterproofing barrier.
Yep.
So water gets in, but it's got to be able to get out again.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
So that's how all the retrofit windows are happening here.
And what about all of this? It looks like there's some extensive work that's happened up here, Craig, and you sort of talked about why you needed to put in some extra battens and things.
So what happened up here was the house originally had a tiled roof and a hand-pitched roof.
Yeah.
And this is where this job has sort of compounded and exploded, is that the client was hoping, they'd been given some advice by house removalists or some engineers or whatever.
Yeah.
The original ceiling joist, so being an old hand-pitched roof, you've got your rafters that run up.
Yeah.
And then there's a timber that runs across, which is like the bottom chord of the truss.
Yep.
That runs across through there.
Yeah.
And that ties the house together in the old type of build. They were under the impression that we could leave all that in place, leave the ceiling there, take the rafters out, and then retruss it. But the problem was that the ceiling joists changed directions. We couldn't put trusses down beside them.
Yeah.
There was too much damage from the movement and the house just, twisting and rocking as it came here and then got put back together as two pieces.
Yeah.
So it was cheaper for us to take all that off and then retruss it so that it's now nice and straight and stable.
Yeah.
And then change the profile of what the roof is into what we call a sawtooth roof. So we've got two skillions at different heights, basically, into a sawtooth. And this trusses span from one side to the other, but they load bear in 3 points. We're actually load bearing in the centre.
Yeah.
And now, not that it's a big house, it's only around 10 metres, and normally a truss would span that far.
Yeah.
But the original window heads, not this one because we replaced it, but the original window heads aren't big enough to carry the truss from one side to the other. So we've had to make this centre wall that runs all the way through the house on each end, and we've had to put a piece in the centre with the new design, a load bearing point.
Wow.
So the trusses now span to the 3 points. So this wall carries more weight than the two outside walls.
Far out.
Because
it needed to be put in place for the purposes.
This wall carries half of this span and half of the span on the other side. So the outside wall now only carries from the centre out.
Wow. So the work underneath that you've carried out would have been pretty extensive to put this in.
Most definitely. So when the house removers have cut this house down the centre, this wall was here and the piece in the front bedroom was there.
Yeah.
And you just cut the floor through with a chainsaw. They cut the bearers. And they just cleared a small piece of timber back on the bearers. So we've actually had to restructure all that, put huge big LVL bearers in.
Yeah.
Bearers under bearers, and then put inline joists in to make sure we're fully supported on the underside of the floor up against the wall, so that our load bearing doesn't have anywhere to move.
This is such an interesting job, mate.
It's very interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look in here, Craig.
Right.
Now, mate, there's been an extensive shift of rooms and things.
Configuration of the house has definitely changed.
Yeah.
For sure. So this was always the lounge room.
Yeah.
But it was slightly bigger. That wall there didn't exist. It used to push out slightly further.
Yeah, wow.
And we brought that through because we needed to run the extension of that centre wall.
Yeah.
Right through to pick up the new
load bearing
roof design.
Yeah.
For the load bearing. So that never used to be there at all.
Wow.
So what we've done in here, same deal. Windows, you'll see they've come out. We've got the angle trims in there again.
Yeah.
This wall here is going to be an MDF featured VJ.
Yes.
We've got a half-height wall behind you.
Yep.
And we've got a half-height wall that runs down that side back to the front door.
Yeah.
You'll see we've got a series of noggins that run through here. So this is obviously existing, and then we've added the extra ones. So when you do MDF VJ, it's supposed to be supported at no more than 700 centres horizontally.
Yep.
It runs screws it or nails it to their studs.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be this way
horizontally.
as
Note that, builders.
Also, because it's going on an external wall, the back is supposed to be painted.
Yeah, wow.
So if you get any moisture, and see, moisture doesn't have to be water.
Yeah.
It can still just be vapour.
Yeah.
MDF, as we all know, great product.
Yeah.
But if we get any moisture on it, it likes to swell and blow up.
Yeah.
So by painting the back of it, we're preventing any moisture coming through and getting into the back of the board.
Yeah, wow.
On external walls.
Wow. Mate, that's so good. And Craig, this is where you were talking about the ventilation.
On the outside.
On the outside.
Yes.
Going through, up through the roof, and that. We'll have a look later.
So you'll see on the outside, so what we've done is, because we've got the WeatherTex on the outside, which is a 10mm product, and we had the chamfer board, which is 20.
Yeah.
We put the 11mm counterbattens.
Yeah.
On the outside.
Yep.
And then at the bottom, we've got a perforated aluminium mesh that's been folded.
Yeah.
To fill up that little gap.
Yeah.
In the bottom.
Yeah.
So what it allows, it's a heat stacking. So if any heat on that outside wall, so like here's cladded, but you can feel the paper's got to push out before it hits. So there's a gap there. So it will rise up. Will come over the top and go up in the top of the roof cavity. Yeah. And it'll be ventilated. Yeah. So it can come out. So we'll always get a draw. Yep. So we're keeping the consistent temperature on the outside. We won't get hot of an afternoon, cold of a morning. It'll be more consistent. Yeah. Wow. If for some reason we got moisture into the outside of the wall, we'd get onto our building wrap, would run down, come out through the perforated vent in the bottom. Yeah. So it does two things. You know, we're keeping moisture off the structure. Yep. Because the biggest thing is our frame is the skeleton of our house. Yeah. This is the thing we need to be protecting. Yeah, yeah. Totally. Yeah. It needs to be fully protected. Yep. Probably brings me to...
You're big on that, Craig.
Another little one is that the window in the next room there, when we shoot in there, we can talk about how that wrap's been done. Yeah. Because it should come into the window opening. Yeah. A lot of guys will just run across the outside, get a knife, cut it out, but what's protecting the inside of the frame? Yeah. Yeah. So your wrap should fold in. Fold in on the and then do your corners. Yeah. Because this is the whole structure of your house. This is where everything's come from. Yeah. Whether it's a brick veneer or a cladded house, you need to be protecting this part of your house for long-term jeopardy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah, I can't wait to show you guys out there how you've done that externally. Yeah. I think that's really cool. Well, we'll take a walk in here. So if you're looking around here, this is actually the original home. Correct. Take a step out here, and we're somewhere new. Yes. So this is, it's been integrated so well, and I think what threw me off, Craig, when I came through the home was like the floor. The existing floor? Yeah. That we've reused? Yeah, so I was like, I was looking at it, and it looks so well integrated. So how did all this come? So where Eliza is now, that was the original front door. So that was the front door. Yeah. So basically out here, as the house stood in Brisbane, this was a deck. Yeah, wow. Okay. And it had like one of those old Absco roof things on it. Yeah. So this was the front door. So you walk in through there. Yep. You would see this line in the floor here. Yeah. This was one bedroom. This was another bedroom. Yep. And you'd walk down through that area there. So that wall didn't exist, and that lounge room was bigger. Yeah. Wow. That's how that worked. But what we've done is we've had to put the ensuite. Yep. So we now add an ensuite to this front room. Yeah. So we stripped the floor out of the ensuite. Yep. Which is this floor here. We've kept it. I love it. And we kept it for quite a few months until we got to that stage. So that when we built all this section, we didn't lay all of this until we had a roof on. Yeah. Because for a long time we had a tarp over this house. Yeah. Because there was no actual roofing, there was just roof timbers. Yeah. So we kept all this aside so it didn't get damaged. And then we've relaid it back in the front to give it the look. Yeah. When you come in the front door, that's always part of. It'll seam and polish exactly the same as the rest. Yeah. What we also need is, because it is relaid as a new floor, you'll see that we've got a 12mm cork joint. Yes. Around for extension. Yeah. Yeah. So even though it's the same, but what would happen is the distance from that wall to that wall would be greater than the allowable tolerance. Yep. So we put the expansion joint in there. Yeah. So there's a bit of movement. Yeah. That'll take it up. Yeah. We did glue this floor and nail it. Well, this floor would only be just nailed. Yeah. So we would expect more movement here than we do over there. Yeah. Wow. That's phenomenal, Craig. Well, mate, let's take a look in here. Show us that window. Show us how you what you're talking about when you're wrapping. Okay, so inside of the window. So what we've got here is you see that we brought the outside wrap around to the inside. Yeah. Happens the same on the bottom. Happens the same on the top. Yep. There'll be a little piece of tape put in here. So this here is Exto Seal, which is made by Pro Climber. Yep. And this is like a sub-seal tape. So it goes on here and wraps over the outside. Yep. The same around, but what happens is it's quite a stretchy product, so it enables it to be one piece. There's no cuts or joins in the corner, so it's a continuous piece. Yeah, wow. So when our window goes in, as moisture gets in, it will come back out. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, this is really important. What I'm really happy about is that I reckon for 20 years I've felt the way we installed windows conventionally wasn't right. So you get your window with your damp course on it, you put it in the opening, put a bit of paper, a bit of stapling. So I've always wrapped my paper in, and I've always done the corners with paper.
Just something you've always done.
Just because I'm always conscious of trying to protect this frame and making this, you know, as secure as possible. And then now that we're sort of learning more and there's a lot more available to us, we find out about the pro climbers and their tapes. It just puts the icing on the cake for me. So I just find that educating my clients, explaining to them, yes, this is costing a bit more, but in the long run, your house is going to last a lot longer. And it's going to be a better product.
That's right.
And I think that's really important. Educate your subbies, educate your clients, educate your team, so everyone understands where you're coming from and what you're doing and why you're doing it for the end goal of the product.
Absolutely. And as you say, you know, just a healthier home as well.
It performs so much better. And that's what it's about. It's about getting the house to perform.
So
you're living in a house that's more environmentally friendly, but also more friendly to yourself and your own well-being.
So what was this? Was this did you say 1950s?
Around a 1950s house.
So it's a 70-year-old home, 75-year-old home, and you're going to make it, you know, another 7,500 years on this thing.
Definitely.
That's so cool, you know, to keep something like this as well. Like, I think it's a special project, just not for the extension of work that you've done, but the longevity you're giving this era.
Well, you've got a whole other house which is going to have another life. That's not being put in the ground.
There you go.
Which is really important.
That's freaking cool.
Something I'd like to touch on here, Aaron, is that
these doors, they were interesting.
So we've got the two French lights and the side lights. The client really wanted to reuse these. So they used to be situated in here. Behind this, they used to come from the lounge room onto the deck. We talked to the client quite heavily about, you know, using these, which I didn't have a problem with, but they were obviously out of square, out of parallel. So we spent quite a few hours, you know, double checking measurements and re-straightening them and getting them to work properly, making the new jambs, because the age of the house, they were just built in situ. So the stud would have been between the two, and the fixed light was one side, the door was hung on the other, then there's a bit of a cover strip. Where now we've got, you know, full on jambs and sills and those sort of things. Like, the little thing you got to be conscious of is that the glass doesn't comply. So by reusing these, because these would have primarily like 3mm float glass. So we've now got we've fitted them, but they'll all come back out again, so that they can go to the glazier to get redone. So they've got to be now fitted with safety glass. And we need a certificate, so that when we get to the end of the project and we get our final, we've got to be able to give a glass certificate. So not only do we get one for these windows, we've got to get these as well. And the front bedroom has 4 casements and a fixed pane. We do the same thing over there as well. You know, and now we could have bought a full aluminium pre-built French doors for the same money it cost to put the glass in here.
Glass alone.
The glass alone.
So not the doors, just the glass.
Just the glass alone.
Clients got to be careful, don't they?
But the client wanted to keep the authenticity and the look.
I get that.
But you give them the option to make a decision how they would like to go with it.
And then you've got to comply. And you've got to do it properly, like you guys always do. Is it Craig good?
Exactly right, mate. You know, but it's important to make sure that we're covering ourselves, but also covering the client and giving them the information that they can make the informed decision.
So for builders out there that get the same sort of request, remember this. Because that's you know, you could see what could come of it if you don't.
Well, that's sort of where this all started, was a little bit in that ensuite. Is that there was already windows, because it was a bedroom, and it's now been converted to bedroom 1 and the ensuite. That was the first thing I said to the client, is we can't leave those windows because you're making a wet area. And they won't comply at all. So that's where this conversation first started. So that's how we ended up going down the path of changing a certain amount of windows. And then the way it worked out, there's windows that were damaged. And then that's why primarily most of the house is getting retrofitted with aluminium, apart from the front of the house. We're keeping the original French doors, and we're keeping the original casements and fixed in the bedroom, which I think gives character to the house. Because I've tried to keep the front of the house very cottage type of look.
Well, that's, I think, why we didn't notice it as well driving by, because it looks so natural. You know, the way you've done it. That's right. I think I don't know if I'm using the right words, but I came and I said to you, Craig, the home seems integrated so well. Like, everything's just nice. It's tidy. It seems to flow. It works. you wouldn't really know this is a new extension, but it is.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
I have a bit of a thing where I call it marrying together.
Yeah.
I like the new and the old to marry.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's always part of one.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing worse than when you come to a house and you can primarily tell that and that
Yeah.
are two different parts and they've been stuck together and
Yeah.
they just don't gel.
Yeah.
But when it sort of marries together and flows almost like it's meant to be,
Yeah.
it just makes the place feel so much better.
You've done it here, mate. You've done it here. Well, let's go and have a look at, should we go into the master bedroom? We'll have a quick chat about that. So this, originally that was the front door. Yes, you flip this into, this is now the master bedroom ensuite.
And there's the little walk-in road
Yeah.
that runs through here.
It's a nice size for a good size too.
It is a good size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works really well.
So how did you do this, Craig? How did you flip this out?
Well, the client had pretty well ideas on what she liked.
Yeah.
And we sort of put that into plans. And then when we got here, we just did a walkthrough with the clients and just sort of reconfigured.
Yeah.
You'll see that we've pushed the wall slightly. This is where the original bedroom wall was.
Yeah.
And we're only sort of talking, 200 mil, 250 mil, but it just gives that much more space.
Yeah.
And losing that little space out of the ensuite wasn't a big thing.
No.
So I think it's just a matter of when you come to these older houses, you have a plan, but you've got to be open-minded that you just got to tweak it a little bit
Yeah.
to make things, when you actually put tape and sizes on the floor,
Yeah.
and how it all comes together.
Yeah.
So, obviously the ensuite floor, which is now in the hallway,
Yep.
but what we've had to do is cut this floor out. And this was another thing that the client didn't realise the extent of the work. When they turned up and we cut the floor, changed the bearers, relayed all new joists, because I need to get a step down, which enables me to get my falls.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is primarily what you call a wet room.
Yep.
Even though there's a shower that runs across this end,
Yeah.
and we've got a piece of shower screen will come out, but there's no door.
Yeah.
So this will be set up with a floor waste and another floor waste out here.
Yep.
So this whole room
Is a wet room.
is a wet room.
Yeah.
So that's hence why we've got to step down to get all our falls to the right area.
Yeah.
So it all falls into place.
Jeez.
There's a seat in the shower. Last week she decided that she would like to have a shelf, like a niche.
Oh.
So hence we got the new wall built.
Yeah.
They're at 90 mil.
Yeah.
So we're always on the fly.
Wow.
Open to things, if this is what makes the job at the end of the day that the client's happy with those final little tweaks,
You'll do it.
we'll put them in.
Yeah. You've done a lot to this home, mate.
And we just sort of made her aware that she's losing 90 mil out of this space,
Yeah.
which I don't think is a big thing because we had plenty of space in there.
Yeah.
But you just got to make sure you're giving them the right information,
Yeah.
so they can make those decisions.
I think I've said this to you, Craig. This seems a bit more complex than a new build.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Renovations and these jobs make carpenters.
Yeah.
Not only for thinking but for workmanship.
Yeah.
How it all comes together. You'll see that this old frame has got all these ply tackers.
Yeah.
So what we do is we rip up bracing ply.
Yep.
And we'll glue it on.
Yep.
We'll staple it. If it needs to be planed, we'll go back the next day, pull the staples out, and then just plane it.
Yeah.
So if there's hollows. This obviously didn't need to be planed. It needed to be brought out to line up.
Yeah.
I think it was to do with getting over in the bathroom there's like a shave cabinet.
Yeah.
Just to making all that work all the way through.
Yeah.
But this is a good way of straightening walls.
Yeah.
On new or old frames.
Yeah. Wow.
We do a fair bit of that. You'll see over here where we've done it here.
Tucked in there. Yeah.
It's all been glued on.
Yep.
And then pull the staples out, go through and plane it.
Yep.
So there would have been hollows in those walls. We also did the same on the outside. You'll see on the outside of the frame that there's ply.
Yeah.
When we stripped all the boards,
Yeah.
we didn't go as intense on the outside.
Yeah.
Because the WeatherTex boards, can hide a few little sins because of the profiles.
Yeah.
But in here where it's all tiled and stuff,
Yeah.
this needs to be spot on.
Nice and flush.
Nice and
that's
flush,
well done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Obviously, we put blocks in for toilet roll holders.
Yeah.
All our towel rails
Yep.
are all fully blocked. These are all photos and taken measurements for before it's sheeted.
Yeah. Wow.
We've got a hand towel going in here.
Yep.
And these blocks here, the owner has a big mirror that's going to screw on the wall.
Yeah.
So we just go through and put our blocks in.
Yeah.
So we've got good fixing.
Wow.
Even for here's our shower
The
screen.
level of detail, mate.
So this line here
I'll get ahead
will
of
be for the shower screen. We'll sit down across here.
Yeah.
And that gives us a fixing point
Bloody hell,
in
Craig.
through there as well.
Mate, working on a project like this, what would be some advice to builders out there? I know that's sort of putting you on the spot, but it seems like, when you start with something that's not necessarily yours,
Yep.
and you've got to make it something.
Yep.
that's sometimes extremely hard. I know this is a bit different, but when we're writing articles at the Good Builder, if you start with another article and you're trying to put your spin on it, sometimes it's harder.
Oh,
You've
definitely.
got to start afresh. So how did you go about even navigating this?
Look, I think the biggest thing, it comes with experience.
Yeah.
But the labour that goes into this type of project is the one that is overlooked.
Yeah.
Or underlooked.
Because it could really cook you, couldn't it?
Well, it does. Very much so. So I think, heavy documentation, what you're allowing for, and what's covered.
Yep.
And then just communication with your client.
Yeah.
When other things appear. So what we did on this project is when we come in initially, we started work, but it was an investigation work.
Yeah.
Because we knew that there was a fair bit of work to be done. So we stripped it all out to see what we needed to do, what the frame conditions were like.
Yeah.
And then knowing that the floors were all out of whack, so we've gone through and fully re-leveled. After the house removals were here, we had to re-level the house.
Yeah.
When I walked through it, I could actually feel the house was out and it was up and down.
Yeah.
And what we did there, Aaron, was a little tip is we leveled to the underside of the floor, not the bearers.
Yeah, wow.
Because if there's shrinkage in the bearers and joist,
Yep.
there'll be inconsistency where we wanted the floor to be level.
Yeah.
So we set a datum point and then lasered everything to the underside of the floor.
Internally.
Externally.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your floor's 19 mil, and the chances of, because it's all kiln dried, the chances of it moving would only be a mil or so.
Okay.
Whereas if you've got, green off saw and so just your hardwood bearers and joists, and this we're not dried, not kiln dried.
Yeah.
So it might be 175, but some could be 169, some could be 173.
Yeah.
And then you've got a 150 joist. You got the similar sort of inconsistencies.
Yeah.
So when we did all the leveling, we went to the underside of the floor.
Wow.
Just so that we got a platform that was as straight as possible.
Yeah.
And then we worked from there up.
Jeez. Yeah, and that's what I was sort of talking about, Craig. It's like there must have been, you said investigation, you would have had to, like the pre-construction process to this would have been just...
There's a lot in it.
Fairly enormous, and I think you spoke about it in our last pod that it's important for builders to value that part of the process as well.
Oh, very much so. Because the pre-construction is very important, and the more data that you can get, or the information you can get, enables you to be more on the ball with the project. Yeah. The more you can give the client, the more they understand how the project's going to roll.
Because I'm not just saying it because I'm standing here with you on camera, but there's some builders I don't think that would be able to take this on. Like it could destroy a builder.
I think so, and that comes back to what I was saying before about
it's a phenomenal
experience. Yeah. And if you've got builders that are used to just doing, let's say, volume work or just frames and trusses.
Absolutely.
This is a whole different kettle of fish.
Oh, mate.
You don't come in here and put half your frames up in a day. Yeah. Like on a slab on ground, prenup, sand them up. Yeah. You're building everything. You're also looking at what's plumb, what's parallel, and how to find the best happy medium. Yeah. Now, let's say, for instance, I was building a frame, from here to the other side. Yep. And I might have a measurement across the bottom. Yeah. The existing house across the top could be out or in. Yeah. I don't build that frame and stand it up. I've got to take the top measurements, bottom measurements, work out which side potentially is out or both sides out, and then build my frame potentially one way or both ways. So it's a different kettle of fish. Yeah. Yeah. Mate, you're a phenomenal builder. Thank you. It makes carpenters.
Let's go have a look.
I'll show you something.
We'll show us this and then we'll... Yeah.
I'll show you something out here.
Show us what you got.
So you'll notice that we don't have any tie-down rods in this house. Yeah, yeah. And we had to put tie-down in. So you'll see we've got bolts in the bottom. So the way this house is built is that there's a bearer and two joists directly above it. Yep. So conventionally, bearers and joists stack. Yeah. That's how this house is done, but they have perimeter. Yep. That runs all the way around. So we've bolted the bottom plate down to the joist, which goes through the bearer, and then you'll see that we've got a lot of these orange dots around the place. Yeah. And we've got these screws. These screws are Simpson strong tie truss screw. So you'll notice that we don't have any straps on our trusses. Yeah. Saw that. It's screwed. Oh wow. So these truss screws are engineered and rated. Yep. So where we lost some time in some frame, we picked it up in our straps. Yeah. By not strapping. So what we've done is you'll see that everywhere that there's a bit of paint, every second stud has been screwed top and bottom. So we're screwing the top to the top plate, stud to the top plate. Yeah. And then the same at the bottom. Yeah. So that becomes our tie down. Yeah, wow. You'll notice that we've got a different ribbon plate on the top. Yeah, yeah. So we've put that on the top so that we can stringline and plane it to get a flat platform for our trusses to go on. Instead of working with the hardwood,
Yeah.
and then it's screwed down with a Simpson strong tie structural screw.
Yeah.
And it's screwed beside every truss.
Yep.
So it's fixed in. But because this screw is below that,
Yep.
it basically is sandwiching that ribbon plate between the truss and the top plate.
Yeah.
So we went through with the engineer, worked out a game plan on our heads.
That's what I mean about problem solving.
We put 2 screws in
Yeah.
each side
Yep.
and screwed that together. I did go through and we screwed every over.
Yeah.
I probably didn't need to, but we did just to make sure
Yeah.
that it was in. But that's how we solved the tie down problem, because at that stage we weren't taking the cladding off
Yeah.
and we were minimising how much internal we were pulling off. But you know, as this job was compounded and got more involved,
Yeah.
but that was quite quick,
Yeah. Yeah.
very effective.
Yeah.
It's been engineered, it's been signed off. We've
Awesome.
done that through the whole house.
Amazing.
That's how it's all been done.
Good
So
on you.
there's only a couple of cyclone rods at the back
Yeah.
to do with the open gable.
Yep.
And that little extension on the back where there had to be a beam put in, and the engineer wanted 2 rods in that, but the rest of the house has been done this way. So it's the old story, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're showing a few builders a few ways to skin a lot of cats, mate. So we appreciate it. Well, do you want to go and have a look outside? And
Yeah.
we'll go and I want to show the builders this wall. I thought that heat exchange,
Yeah.
moisture exchange was really cool.
All right, definitely, let's have a look.
Let's go. Yeah, this house is Craig, and that's what I was saying, like the
See where we've
problem
u-
solving.
That's also where we've used the Explorer tape.
Yeah.
So what we've done here is this is the Exto seal, sorry. This is the Exto seal like on that window.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've put it in here, we've brought it up the floor.
Yep.
Our aluminium door will sit down inside here.
Yeah, wow.
So if the owner ever decides to hose the deck or a bit of rain and wind, and it comes onto there, it gets in underneath to your floor.
Yeah.
So we're allowing the water to get in, but it can also get back out.
Yeah.
Once again, comes up there in one piece, and it's stretched out over the corner. So it gives us that seal in the corner, but we're preventing any of that water tracking.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of problems happen, is that aluminium doors, even on slabs, they're just on top of slabs, there's no sort of seal underneath them.
Yeah.
So moisture gets underneath. So we do this sort of thing just to prevent that moisture getting through.
Yeah, wow. Is that one of the biggest QBCC issues that go on?
It is one of the
Moisture and
moisture,
defects and
moisture and defects are one of the biggest things, isn't it?
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can see how watertight you've made this house.
Yeah,
Hey?
definitely. Unbelievable. It's so important to try and get that as tight as you can.
Yeah, and for an old
Old house.
all the things that you've done to it.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what I was saying about working through, like when you've got a clean slate versus
Yes.
working through a project that you know, I can see as you're talking through it and as you would be doing things would pop up.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, they certainly do. And your older projects, which take a bit more, I suppose, some brain power, a bit more thinking.
Yeah.
But that's what I like. I like the challenge.
Yeah. And you've got to be that type of builder, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. You've got to be able to execute yourself onto the project to get the best result at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you always do, mate.
So what
Yeah, this was cool.
So what we've done here, Aaron, is you see we started to clad the wall.
Yeah.
So we've got the 11mm battens
Yeah.
on the wall there. So that's our counter batten.
Yep. That you were talking
And the
about.
reason we used it initially was so that we'll get the same depth off the wall,
Yeah.
which you'll see that our cladding goes into the bottom of the sill.
Yep.
The sill actually has a rebate groove in there.
Yep.
Allows that timber to go up. That's how the old chamfer board was done.
Yeah, yeah.
So we brought that out. But what we've done in the process is that underneath here, we've got a perforated vent. So it's a 2mm aluminium thick. There's got 2mm perforated holes in it.
Yeah.
So as this wall heats up in the afternoon sun,
Yeah.
that heat will rise. You'll see it'll run up behind the soffit.
Yep.
And it goes up into our roof cavity, and then the roof space will be ventilated.
Yeah.
So it's allowing the heat stacking to rise up and get out, so you're not getting a thermal break, or thermal bridge, sorry, between here and the inside wall.
Yeah.
If for some reason we've got reverse moisture going in, it will come out the bottom as well.
Yeah.
So this is like a healthy performing. This is a system we use on all our projects.
Yeah, well.
Often we'll use a bigger batten than that.
Yep.
But in this particular case, that's how it worked.
Do many builders use this sort of thing in their projects?
There's not a lot of builders. There's
I
builders that are trying to build better
Yeah.
and doing more healthier performing homes.
Yeah.
Are going this way.
Yeah.
And I think in time it's going to be a lot more of it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like
I
I've
think
never seen it before, actually.
the NCC is going to push more towards this sort of stuff.
Yeah. And so this is something that you've come out of your own fruition.
Yeah, well, look, there's other guys I know that are doing the same sort of thing, and I'm always educating myself, you know, going to the Pro Climber courses and those sort of things, and talking to other people, other builders.
Yeah.
So it's not my idea, but I'm definitely implementing it quite soon. I think there's only one other builder I know in town that's doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah, wow.
Him and I collaborate together a bit and talk about little quirky problems we come across.
That's so cool.
And how to develop and grow.
This is one of the quirkiest of.
And I think that more builders need to talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
because you only become better.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the client is the one that wins.
Yeah.
The better the builders become,
Yeah.
the better the product we put out,
Yeah.
the longer the homes stand there for.
Yeah.
So we make them into generational homes.
Yeah. And that's interesting. And I think that's why you've just said it, and that's why this project is like resonating with me so much, Craig, because this is an old home that you are looking to make last for another 75, 100 years, 200 years. You're building it that way. No offense to some of the builders out there, but there's some builders that are building new homes that won't last 20 years. And
Correct.
they're not even looking at the new stuff to last, let alone the old stuff
The old
to
stuff,
last.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's,
Most definitely.
that's the type, and that's why we love talking to you, and that's why we came up here to check out this project, because it's phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, do you want to have a look? Can you tell us a little bit about, well, you told us upstairs, but come and take a look at this, Elisa. Like, this is pretty cool.
So you'll see that we've got these big LVL timbers.
Yeah.
So I think it's 240 by 45 doubled up.
Yep.
And then you'll see the long LVL that runs along. That's where our load-bearing wall is.
Yeah.
And when the removalist had cut the bearers, they put literally a metre-long piece and a couple of coach screws to join it back together. But with the amount of weight we're putting on top, we've had to stiffen it up. So we've come in underneath, got our fabricators to come in, weld the little cleats on for us.
Yeah.
And then we've had to implement them, bolt them back through into the bearers. So I've got a really good engineer that we work with.
Yep.
And I come up with a lot of ideas, and I ring him and put it by him, and then we collaborate together. So we get a good collaboration.
Yeah.
And then if he needs to, he'll draw something or send me an email or a detail on that particular thing, because I'm on site, I can see what we need to do, and that's how we do it. So it's all been put back together, it's all been supported. The existing joists that were there are still there, but we've put extra LVLs in on both sides to compensate for it.
Yeah, wow.
Where the removalists had just put big bolts through and nothing was lined up, we had to undo it all and realign it. You'll see at the front here we've got these knee braces off those posts, and that's because the existing bearers over the time had sagged. So on today's standard they're not big enough.
Yeah.
But it's an existing house. So once again we've jacked all that up, had fabricated knee braces, got them all welded in, so we're taking the support for those areas to come through.
Bloody hell.
And that's all part of that process that we were doing right at the start.
Yeah.
Pre-construct, all that investigation work on site we started was to solve these problems before we got too far into the job.
Yeah.
And then going, hang on, we got an issue, and sometimes you've got to backpedal and undo stuff you've already done.
Yeah. A saying comes to mind, Craig. Measure twice, cut once. And I think that's what you do, mate. Like, as I'm walking around with you, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm listening to you. I'm like, okay, that's what you do. I'm like, nah, this guy measures twice, cuts once,
Most definitely.
gets it right, and makes sure from pre-construction that because this is a very unique project, mate.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Very unique.
Yeah. Yeah. We could have a little look under this back decks we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is another little thing, Aaron, is that I'm big on is when all our posts are set up, we do little boxes, do little 45s on the corners, just get a nice little finish.
Yeah.
All our steel posts are pre-done with blackjack all the way down. Now, if you have a look at one of those posts, they've, let's look at the next one back.
Yeah.
You'll see the blackjack has been put on after, and it goes on the concrete.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So if that blackjack cracks, you've got air and moisture getting onto the post.
Oh, wow.
So what we've done here...
So these are the posts you've done?
We've done these posts. That's house removals.
Because it's a new area.
Yeah. So we measure and tape it so that they're all the same distance above our concrete.
Yep.
Make our little boxes. and it just gives a nicer finish.
Yeah.
So that when the client sees it, looks like we've attempted to make something look right instead of just big domed up things that are all different shapes.
I didn't want to mention it, but I was just about to say, like, if you look at, is this Craig good or is this Craig good? This is Craig good.
Yes, most definitely.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's,
and it
that's
just
phenomenal.
it takes some pride in your product.
Any work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see you do that.
If we're taking pride, our other sub-trades see that.
Yeah.
And then they take a bit of pride.
Yeah.
It comes back to the clean job site.
Yeah.
You know, if we're leaving a clean job site, I can then say to the sub-trades, your mess is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're messy,
Yep.
how can we tell them to clean up their mess?
Yeah. Yeah. Lead by example.
Yeah.
And you do that, mate.
So what we'll do is when they are rough in for the electrician or the plumber,
Yep.
we'll clean the house.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? So when they come in, when they leave, they should clean the house.
Yeah.
And if for some
Yep.
reason we're still working inside and we've got a little bit of mess, I'll say to them, well, you just clean up a bit in your space, but we'll do the rest of it.
Yeah.
If we've got a nice clean house and we come back and there's holes bored everywhere and there's dust everywhere,
Yeah.
I can ring up and go, well, you need to come back and clean up.
Yeah.
Or we're going to back charge you for it.
Yeah. Good.
Because it gives us an expectation,
Yep.
it gives us a standard to work to,
Yeah.
and we've got something we can abide by.
Yeah, that's good, Craig. That's mad, mate. Well, what have you got left on this house? How long is this going to take, do you think, this project?
So what we're now waiting on is because we've had to site measure the windows,
Yeah.
there's a 7-week lead time
Yeah, well.
on the windows. And so we couldn't measure those until we got the aluminiums and got them all in. On this particular job, we're using a non-standard colour.
Yeah.
So we're doing ironstone, so we had to have everything powder coated.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got like 7 weeks before we get windows.
Yep.
Once we get windows, the job will really kick on because we still just, finish the cladding, get the windows in, electricians, plumbers, plasterers, and fix out.
Yeah.
So there's probably only, like a 4 or 5 week window
Yeah,
of,
wow.
of completion.
Yep.
Once we get to that point.
Jeez. Awesome.
That we're getting nicely, but just under here, Aaron, is something that I sort of wanted to. So this is the subfloor we were talking about. So this section here, up to where the damp course hangs down.
Yeah.
This here is all the tiled area. So it's all LVL. It's all been painted.
Yep.
Just to protect it all.
Yeah.
And you'll see where the damp course is coming down. That's
Yeah.
the break point between the two floors.
The timber,
Yes.
veranda, and the tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And it runs up and then runs up the side of the laundry wall.
Yep.
And then where you transition the walk from tile to timber, it wraps over the floor joist, so it's all protected.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, you can see that there.
Yeah. And then also what we
That's
had,
so cool.
another little thing we had to do is, you'll see here, there's all these double joists
Yep.
in through the blocks in through
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And we got these little packers. See how they're
Yeah.
tapered packers?
Yep.
So we got a deck that's got 40mm fall, but you got a laundry on the deck that needs to be level. So we run all the joists through, and then we made those tapers that go on top,
Yeah.
glued and screwed them down. So we laid the main sky-on floor around the laundry, and then we put the sky-on floor in the laundry. That enables it to be level, so then I can put a floor waste in. Otherwise, all the water would run to one end of the laundry. So these are the little things, all because we're a tile deck.
Wow.
Now, if this was a full timber deck,
Yeah.
everything could have just been done level.
Yeah. Would have been much easier.
Yeah. And then you got to think about the transition when you walk from the deck into the laundry,
Yeah.
and about tripping hazards with steps and all those sort of
Yeah.
things, and lips, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot goes on
Yeah.
in how this all gels and comes together.
Absolutely, and I know we do this good builder stuff for other builders. I can actually stand up straight here, which is great. But I think sometimes the customer needs to be educated as well.
Most
Because
definitely.
you start talking about these little things that you want to do to your home, and yeah, come on, mate, like, can't be that hard. Mate, walking around this house and what you've had, there is a copious amount of work. Like you said, 3 days for those things.
Yeah.
The bearers there, wasn't it 3 bearers? 3
Yeah,
days?
yeah. Just to get them in, and you're working underneath and you're jacking things up.
Oh, mate.
And this is like, if you have a look here, Aaron,
Yeah.
I'm chopping and changing.
No, you're right.
But what we've done is because as the project developed, they decided they'd like to put this half-height wall in.
Yeah.
So we built the half-height wall on top of the skyline,
Yeah.
but then we need to get a line because I need to protect the end of my bearers. This bearer is an
Yes.
LVL.
Yeah.
I need to protect it.
Yeah.
So we've actually built a little frame underneath the floor.
Oh, wow, just here.
Yeah, little frame there.
Yeah.
But then you need to protect it. Or you got birds sitting in there. So
Yeah.
we've sheeted that, right, and put little caps on it, it'll get painted. So it's those things, we're talking about time before. and consuming, you know, like
Yeah.
allowing enough time for stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not just a half-height wall, it's
Yeah.
how does everything else come together
Yeah.
to bring all that in.
Yeah. Wow.
And then what we've got over here is because we've got the tiled deck,
Yeah.
we've had to build the fascia,
Yep.
which will be tiled.
Yep.
So we put an angle back up behind, so the tiles will come down to here.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got your half-height wall
Yep.
and your cladding coming through. We've had to build on the end of the steel post to project the wall out, so this all lines up through here. If we've got to put a stop in, we've got to think about how the water all comes through and how it all comes, you know, back here. So all in behind here is all taped up and protected, so no moisture gets behind, and if it does, it will run out of this gap at the bottom. Eventually we'll cut this damn course off,
Yeah, yeah.
and tidy it up, but we've got everything wrapped, so any water gets in, it comes out the bottom. So it's about thinking where your water will go and how it gets out.
Right. And just, you know, for what they wanted to do here, what that entails.
Yes.
You know, to make it work properly and function like a high-performing home, as you say.
Correct, and you'll understand.
Makes a huge difference.
You've got your timber fascia on your timber deck.
Yeah.
And the client said, why didn't we run that across?
Yeah.
But how do I protect the end
Yeah.
of all these floor joists?
Yeah. Yep.
Because these are LVL.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you wouldn't put a hardwood floor joist there because they're going to shrink.
Yep.
And it's all tiled. So I've got to make sure that this is nice and stable. And then you'll also see how all our bearers change sizes
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, yeah.
For different parts of decks and things like that.
Yeah. I don't think there's one that's the same size.
No, there's
Maybe
not.
there is. Maybe there isn't one here. No.
They're all different. In this back section here, they're all different, which means our posts are all different heights when we put our posts in,
Yep.
so that we make all that work.
Jeez, Craig. Well, mate.
There's our little thing. You have
Yeah,
to look
sure.
up here. This is the client wanted to have this vertical cladding,
Yeah.
and on the side.
It does look nice though, mate. Look at it. Look at it. It looks, you've done a great job.
Oh yeah,
here.
look, the boys, my team, they do an awesome job. They are.
For all the pain that we've just talked about for about an hour, it looks beautiful.
Well, yeah, look, and I think some days when I tell the boys stuff, they just roll their eyes, but they're good lads. They take it on board and they always try and execute everything we need. But what we did is on each side there was a veranda beam that ran in on both sides, and we were doing some stuff one day and I had a look up and I said to the boys, I think we really need to return the cladding down the side beam. And I said, we got any offcuts? And they're like, oh, probably. And so I think it just makes it,
Yeah.
when you stand out here a little bit
Yeah.
and you just see how we run it down the side,
Yeah.
I just think it really finishes it off instead of just a painted timber beam.
It does.
And,
It looks great.
And look, yeah, I'm sure the boys would have thrown something at me if they could
No.
have, but
No,
it's the attention to detail and the look at the end of it.
Yeah.
And the clients come to site and they just said to me they'd been here on the weekend and they said they loved it.
Oh,
It was just that minor little thing.
mate, that's what I was saying. Like, for a 1950s removal house that's been cut in half, probably wasn't in the best shape.
No, it
we've
wasn't.
turned up here and we've just gone, God, this looks good. Like what you've done to it, the way it's integrated, the
Yeah.
work, and that's why I wanted to have a look at the work that's gone into it, because there is a hell of a lot of work here, mate.
Oh, there is. We've got another screen to go in,
Yeah.
but we can't do that until we put the sliding door in and clad it.
Jeez.
Because there'll be what we call a half newel post.
Yeah.
Coming down on that stop, there'll be another timber to put our nails to. So we can't actually do that next piece, but there'll be another screen that runs in there. It's just to give them a little bit of privacy and matches in with the front.
Yeah.
So originally they weren't going to have it, they were going to have blinds.
Yep.
And then as things transpire and they've looked at it, they've just sort of felt that really ties it all
You
together.
put that screen on. That's going to look good, mate.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, you'll see everything's painted.
Yeah.
It's all pre-primed and all coated.
Yeah. Mate, phenomenal project, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, we will. Let us, if you don't mind, we might come back when this thing's...
When it's finished.
Yeah,
good.
and let's do a full walkthrough and have a look at the finished product, because I can imagine it and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And the work that's gone into it is just phenomenal, you know, so congratulations, mate.
No worries, mate.
Great project.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.